Well, welcome back to Carbeeza's channel, your modern dealership companion through AI-powered predictive credit modeling to gain unparalleled insight into every consumer, allowing you to close more deals faster and more profitably than ever. Joining Nick, the Senior VP of Commercial Affairs, to walk us through this product, UltraLead, and then also on the consumer side with Autoyaya. And I'm going to hand the reins over to him. Welcome, Nick.
Thanks, Kyle. Happy to be here.
No, always a pleasure. So just walk us through this.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, Kyle, we are a technology company, a company that's really focused on AI for the automotive sector. And we have come out with a product that we're really excited about. And that product is called UltraLead. UltraLead is a dealer tool, and it's really designed to help them once they get in front of a customer. And a lot of dealers today will spend a lot of money on generating and buying leads. And typically the return on investment for those dealers on those leads, as they are very expensive, can be extremely low, frankly, anywhere between 5 to 10%. This is assuming that the people on the other side of the phone know what they're talking about. So what we decided to do is take our technology and really apply it so it makes sense for the dealer. And let me just quickly kind of demo that for you folks here. So what we do is that we take the information that's made available to us within a lead, regardless of the source, regardless of the content, and it can be quite minimal depending on where the dealer got that lead from. We take that lead, that information in a lead, run it through our engine to provide some meaningful, actionable insight for the dealer. So what does that all mean? We frankly take the information that's there, we enhance it with consumer relevant information. So when the dealership staff, whether it's sales, finance, internet managers, get that customer on the phone, they're able to have that conversation with them that's necessary today to get that consumer in the store. So they get really specific information on the customer, everything from the consumer's credit profile, and I'll showcase that for you here with this engine. So the consumer's credit profile, the lenders that will finance a customer, the deal structure that will work for the customer based on the lenders at the dealership, the impact of changing a deposit, the required deposit, what happens if you change the term. So typically when these dealers reach out to the customer, instead of guessing and providing misinformation to the consumer unknowingly, we actually give them that required information to have that informative conversation with the customer, to get them into the store, building trust with that customer, and ultimately getting them to a sale. What's really relevant, here, let's take a look at here. What's really relevant as well is that we want to minimize drop-off and ghosting by the consumer, because you're not getting back to them quick enough, or you're not getting them information they need at the time. Because remember, they're shopping. There might be multiple dealerships reaching out to them. So as a dealer partner, we want you to win that sale. Hence why we've got UltraLead. So let's take a look at what we have here in front of us. So we have a lead that came in off of one of the marketplaces out there. It could be AutoTrader, could be Kijiji, could be our own, frankly, Autoyaya, might be Car Gurus in the US, maybe even TrueCar. So what came in with that lead, really, this is a Canadian lead, is from Ontario, is they were on the marketplace, they entered their postal code, they were clicking on a particular vehicle of interest, and they indicated that they don't want to be over $650 in payment. So what we've done is that we've run that information through our engine to get us the required information. So when we call a customer, we can have that informative conversation with them. So as an example, so by running it through our engine, we discovered that this customer is subprime, deep subprime, with a credit band of approximately 500 of a score. With respect to that $650 payment that they wanted to be under, this dealer can facilitate that by sending them to Eden Park, which is a lender they work with at the dealership. And if you note, the interest rate is lower than what you can expect for that customer if you ran them through TD. on a term of 72 months, you can have them within their payment. So what happens as if when you're talking to them, if they let you know that, you know what, they can come up with $5,000 down and they want to see, frankly, with that down payment, how does that impact ultimately their payment? So by doing so, you can enter that $5,000 that you're told that the customer is willing to put down. Maybe you're able to talk them into putting $5,000 down. And then you can see that, of course, their payment has changed to $588. So what you have in front of you really is a really powerful tool to facilitate conversations with the consumer in order to give them everything they need at the point in time where you are on the phone with them, where you are in contact with them. So that way you can get them into the store to ultimately facilitate a sale. Really, if you were to think about the value proposition of UltraLead, 85% of customers out there require financing to buy their next vehicle. Hence, this information is key in order to build trust with that customer. If ultimately it helps you prioritize those buyers that you should reach out to because they're financeable on your inventory and with your lenders, as well as this information provided to you helps your less experienced staff actually have that informative conversation with the customer. Because if you're not giving that customer the information they need, you're going to lose them. They're going to go to the next dealership. They could have multiple dealerships reaching out to them. This information also helps the customer feel empowered. You can they know that you know what you're doing. As a result, they feel comfortable dealing with you. The experience is a much better experience, which ultimately helps that return on investment and profitability. So really, UltraLead is designed to help those dealers get a better return on the business that they're trying to generate, either through leads that they generate on their own or leads that they purchase, which again can be quite expensive. So really, this is UltraLead. What I can also, show you the impact of our engine and our marketplace. I can actually jump right into our marketplace that we'll be launching here shortly. And that marketplace is called Autoyaya. Really, most consumers, when they are shopping today, when they are doing their research, they want to go to a site where they can get the information they need. They don't want to jump to multiple sites. And as we discussed earlier, most of these consumers will require financing to buy their next vehicle. The number out there today is about 85%. Frankly, with what's happening, it could even be higher and has gone up significantly in the last little bit due to vehicle costs and the higher interest rates. So all the customer really wants to know when they're doing their research is that they're going to get a fair deal from the dealer. They're okay with that. They're not looking to take advantage of the dealer. They just want to know they're going to get a fair deal. So in the past 10 years, things have really changed in the automotive business with how consumers shop. So as an example, about 10 years ago, most consumers would have visited about 5 dealerships in their research journey, in their purchasing journey to buy a vehicle. Today, typically, those consumers will either buy from the first dealership or the second. The only reason they go to the second dealership is because of a bad experience at the first dealership. So if you get a customer in front of you at a dealership, you want to make sure that experience is informative, is transparent, to ultimately get to a sale. Otherwise, they're just going to walk out and go to the next dealership. So what we've designed Autoyaya to do is give that consumer the information they're seeking online with respect to a vehicle, with respect to financing and how it's relevant to them. And we do this without a soft or a hard credit pull. It's a non-intrusive approach. It's an anonymous approach. And we're very good at it and very good at giving that data. So as an example, we've got Autoyaya here, and I've set some filters here that can be set on the side. I'm looking for a vehicle between 1995 and 2025. I'm quite open just to see what's out there between $10,000 and $120,000, anywhere from new to frankly use. So I kept it wide open. The one thing to highlight about Autoyaya is that we do have the largest inventory selection in market in North America. On any given day, we have approximately 6 million vehicles listed on Autoyaya. Really, it's the most informative with respect to selection marketplace out there today. We sort that information for our customer base in a way that's very helpful to them. We also provide them, and I'll demonstrate that for you here quickly, finance-specific information and how it relates to them and an impact of maybe making some modifications to make a particular deal work for them. And this is all independent of contact with the dealership. And the reason for that is, of course, you want to give that customer control into the deal that they want. So when they go to the dealership, it's a non-confrontational conversation with the dealer to ultimately help the dealer get a sale from that customer. So as an example, with this existing search I set up, it is in Edmonton. In Edmonton right now, within 25 kilometers, which is down here, we have approximately 23,000 vehicles available to us. I won't filter by a particular make or model, but let's see what's available. Let's pick on, perhaps I'm interested in this particular vehicle. We, of course, note to the customer that relevant information first on the vehicle, specific to that vehicle, where it's located, as well as the finance information relevant to that consumer. And again, remember, we access our data lakes through various ways. And again, that's proprietary information. It is patent pending. That information, once the patents are finalized, will be out there. But really, what we're telling the customer is that they can buy this vehicle based on their credit profile. Their interest rate is going to be 12.99%, total cost of ownership with a payment of $300.79 per month. They do require $3,000 down payment to purchase that vehicle based on the lenders at that dealership. If the dealership had other lenders, maybe they wouldn't require it. But based on where they sit on their credit profile, they do require to have a deposit because they're a little riskier for that lender. So they want to make sure that the customer has a stake in the game, I guess. But, assuming the customer was a better credit customer, that you will note that, again, specific to that customer, there is a lender at the dealership that will finance them without a down payment. There's no necessity for a down payment, so we can take it off. And we can see the impact of that on the deal for the consumer. So by taking the down payment off, their monthly payment went down from $288, I think, to $315. So they are financeable at this dealership. And now, because they are a different credit, their interest rate is also better. They're less riskier for that lender. But again, if we were to go back to where they were, I think it was about $650. So let's sit here. It's a deal that requires commitment from the customer, and that commitment is going to be $3,000 in order to purchase that vehicle. So frankly, the consumer has all the information they need that is specific to them if they are interested in the vehicle. So when they contact the dealer gets the same information, which makes it for a better experience for the consumer at the dealership. Hence, this information provided gives the consumer a sense of control to the deal that they can have, and ultimately facilitate the sale at the dealership. So by the time the dealer gets our lead, that lead, frankly, is quite deep in the sales funnel. They're ready to buy. They've done all the homework related to the vehicle, related to their payment, their deal structure, and they know they can purchase that vehicle. So once they reach out to the dealer, really, it should be a quick transaction. There's many other features coming to Autoyaya, and Autoyaya will be released here in Q4 of 2024. So that's Autoyaya in a nutshell. Again, the big benefit, the big value proposition for consumers is that it has the largest selection of inventory. It is the most informative website for that particular piece of inventory, as well as we provide the customer with finance-specific information that is relevant to them without a soft or hard credit pull. We use our predictive engine for that. And when they're ready to buy, we connect them for the dealer. Now, for the dealer, it is a pay for performance, frankly, value proposition for them. We'll list their inventory, and we get paid from the dealer once we send them that lead. So we send them that high intent customer that's deep in the sales funnel, and it's on them to obviously facilitate that transaction with the customer. But we get paid once we send that lead to the customer. So really, it's a win-win for both dealers and consumers. And that's Autoyaya.
On that note, we'll pass it off to the viewers as always. We'd love to know what you think in that comment section below, and consider subscribing as news and catalysts hit the wire. Of course, we'll bring it to you here. But on that, as always, we look forward to catching you in the next one.